Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Espero que todo esté bien. Soy Carlos, soy un animador por Sash Factor Internacional. Bueno, ahorita estoy muy emocionado porque vamos a entrevistar una fuerte candidata de Mandaluyong. Ella es de Mandaluyong y la hija de Mayora, de alcaldesa de Mandaluyong también. Bueno, cara, cuerpazo, pasarela y buena familia, todo lo que ella posee es para ser la próxima Miss Universo Filipinas 2021. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for waiting and thank you for joining another live session or live um, chat series of Sash Factor International. My name is Carl and I'm your host for tonight. I'm very excited to share with you a very strong candidate which has the face, the pasarela, the body, and a good family to that she belongs to. So without further ado, I present to you the pride of Mandaluyong, Miss Maria Corazon Corrine Abalos.
Hello everyone. Hola.
Hola Corrine, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, bien. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien. Um, I'm very happy to meet you tonight, and thank you so much for spending your precious time with us. So, without further ado, let me ask you, how are you feeling? How are you feeling today? How are you feeling tonight?
I'm good. I just had my dinner, so I'm pretty full.
Well, it doesn't look like you're bloated, so it tells something about you and your beauty. Let's move on to your
You.
first question. So, Karine, please tell us something interesting about yourself.
So, I think one thing that a lot of people find interesting is that whenever they find out that I lived in Spain, and especially that I was there during the pandemic. I mean, we all know how bad Spain was hit during the pandemic last year, and I experienced it.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you had to go through tough times in Spain. I can only imagine. So I can also imagine how your parents felt when you were there. So how
Yeah.
did you manage to return safely? How was the experience?
Actually, it took a while for me to be able to come home to the Philippines because, well, we all know how hard it was to buy a ticket and to actually go through with the flight because all the flights were getting canceled. So I'm just really thankful that my parents were really they really wanted me to home safe. So they never gave up on finding a good they never sorry, they never gave up on finding a good ticket, and they kept looking for more whenever my flight would get canceled.
All right. So at the end of the day, it's your parents' love which pulled you through and
Yeah,
helped
exactly.
you reach
Yeah,
home. And I'm happy. Praise
yeah.
God. My next
Because
question to you is sorry, sorry.
there were times where I was actually giving up na. Like I was saying, "Oh, it's okay. I'll just stay here for one more month." But then it was them who was really pushing for me to go home.
Yeah. I can imagine the agony that they're feeling because
Yeah.
the daughter is far away. But praise God, you're here, you're safe, you're beautiful, you're glowing right now, and you're with us today or tonight in Sash
Thank
Factor.
you.
My next question to you is, um, tell us about your recollection, your oldest recollection of beauty pageant since you're joining Miss Universe Philippines this year.
So not a lot of people might know this, but my mom used to join or used to be a candidate for Binibining Pilipinas. She used to represent Miss Cavite, represent Cavite in the 80s. And so with that kind of background, she was really into beauty pageants. So whenever Binibining Pilipinas or Miss Universe was on, we would always watch it on TV while having dinner or whatever time Miss Universe was on. So that it was a yearly occurrence for us to watch it.
All right. For the interest of everyone, just so you know, Corrine's mother is the current mayor of Mandaluyong, Mayor Menchu Abalos, correct?
Menchi.
Sorry, I misspoke. I
Yeah.
apologize. Mom Menchi,
It's
sorry. Sorry, no. Sorry agad. What
it's
was her advice to you since she herself was a beauty queen?
well, because I think a lot of the people know that it's my first time, and I have worries since it's my first time and I'm joining such a big pageant right away. So I would tell her about my worries, how nervous I am or I was, and basically all my overthinking. And then she would just remind me that you should just enjoy whatever is happening, because if you keep overthinking, you might regret joining, and at the end, and after everything, you might even not enjoy the whole journey. So that's my worry.
Okay. Well, it's
Yeah.
it's nice that you have somebody who has first-hand experience and is
Exactly. Yes.
reassuring you that everything will be okay.
Yes, because I mean, not a lot of or not a lot of us are privileged enough to have a parent or someone there that's actually going through what I am going through. So it's good that she knows what my worries are, because she experienced them too. She felt
All right.
this way too.
All right. Thank you. Serena Jimenez said she's from Pasig and she's cheering from you. We also have there are a lot of people cheering for you right now. We will read on your comments later. Thank you so much
Okay.
for joining everyone.
Okay.
My next question to you, Corrine, would be you um, give us a glimpse rather of growing up coming from a political family. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the question?
Uh, Tell us a glimpse of your childhood
Um,
coming from a political family.
okay. Well, not a lot of people might know this, but both my parents, my mom is currently the mayor, and my father used to be the mayor of Mandaluyong City as well. And my whole life, I was really exposed to politics and seeing how Mandaluyong grew as a city. So there were moments where I just realized when I grew up that isn't a usual childhood memory or childhood experience for everyone. Like, for example, in Mandaluyong, we would have a Liberation Day parade every year. And I thought it was normal for everyone to cut school and go to and join my parents in this parade.
All right. I just want to let you know also when I was in college, I would pass by Mandaluyong because I have to go to Vergara. And I must say your dad is handsome. In fact, I just want to let it
Oh
out.
my god! Thank you. Thank you for that.
And it shows. I mean, the genes. I mean, you have good genes. Look at you right now. You have such a pretty face. So I just
Thank
wanna
you.
just wanna let it out. You
Actually,
also. I'm sorry.
growing up, people would tell me that I look like my dad, but then I would get so mad. So I'd always say, no, I look like my mom, not my dad.
Now at least now I'm affirming that your dad is handsome and you are beautiful because you look like your dad. All right.
Okay. Thank
Um,
you.
you also mentioned in your video that you have dogs. But what
Yeah.
captured my attention is what you mentioned about your dog, Dewey. So could you please tell us more about your dog?
So my dog Dewey, he's a Pomeranian, and actually I didn't get him as a puppy. I got him when he was already around 2 years old. So he was an adult, and in fairness with him, it didn't take a long time for him to adjust to our household and to adjust to me. So whenever I would leave or whenever I'd just go out of the room, he would get so clingy that he'd keep barking, and he'd even, nip a bit, but not full on bite, like just nip the back of my feet, because he would get so clingy and attached.
So is Dewey the jealous type of dog?
He is, because I just got a new Pomeranian, a puppy, and Dewey doesn't like him at all. So
Oh,
whenever I'd play with yeah, whenever I'd play with this new puppy, he'd sort of push the dog away using his butt, because that's his superpower, his butt. So he'd push him away and keep on barking until I put my attention to him.
all right. How do you reassure your dog, Dewey, that you're giving him equal love and attention? I guess that's the follow-up question.
I'm not sure if this is a healthy way, because I have my favoritism. So I still favor Dewey a lot more. I think because he was there first. So whenever I'd see him start to get jealous, I'd push the other dog instantly and just play with Dewey and give him food.
All right. Perfect. let's talk about your educational background. So I read also that you were a European Studies major from the LSU. So how was school like, and how did it help you to become the woman that you are today?
So I studied in DLSU, and I really enjoyed my time in college. Partly because, well, I met a lot of good friends, and I was really passionate about my course. Because even back in high school, I already knew what course I was going to take, which was international studies. Because I really like studying about history and culture and basically diplomacy between countries. So I really had fun in college.
All right. So I hear from you the word diplomacy, and you come from a political family. So after Miss Universe Philippines, do you see politics? Do you see yourself in the politics in the years to come? Just sorry, just the question just popped out of my head. I hope you don't mind.
No, it's fine. It's fine. To be honest, I don't. Uh, because I think I see how it is with my relatives, with my mom, my dad, and my siblings, and I just don't see myself as a public servant.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
that's
okay.
it.
It's okay, and I
It's
appreciate that. Thank
a
you so much for
calling.
being vulnerable and being
Yeah,
honest.
I really think it's a calling that someone has, but not. I don't think it's something for everyone. It's
All
really
right.
a calling. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So much so for that. We're veering away from the pageantry, so let's go back. Let's go back to the usual conversation. I also read that you were a tutor in Spain. In fact, we have
Mm-hmm.
a common friend. Her name is Yas. Hello, Yas. Thank you for watching.
Hi, yes. Hola, yes.
Hola, Yas. Te echo de menos. My question to you is, tell us more about that experience in Spain, and how did it help you to become the woman that you are right now? Or, yeah, what was your takeaway from that experience?
Yeah. I really learned a lot in my time in Spain, maybe because I think that's where I learned how to be an adult, and that's where I felt how it is really like to be an adult. Because I'm not gonna lie about it that here in the Philippines I am pretty sheltered with household chores and even with cooking. I actually just learned how to cook when I lived in Spain, so that's how I guess undomesticated I was. So with Spain, I'm really grateful for that experience because I learned how to do everything on my own.
So it's about living independent, right? So to speak. It's like you,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right. What do you miss the most from Spain or back in Spain?
The people, I really made a lot of friends there, especially with my students and my co-teachers, and even just the random people that you meet. Because Spanish people are very friendly. They remind me of Filipinos in a sense that they're very warm, and they like talking about and sharing their culture with foreigners.
All right. The pandemic. Let's pretend that pandemic is. We don't have a pandemic, and you can be back in Spain in a flick of a finger. Where would you want to be right now in Spain?
Right now, because some of my friends renewed their application to the program, and they're doing it in Madrid. So for sure, I would be in Madrid.
All right. Wonderful. I would love to go to Madrid too in the future when when time and money would permit. Um, you also mentioned in your video that you and your sister came up with a business during the
Yes.
pandemic. Could you tell us more about it?
Sure. It's called Cora's Seafood Market, and we sell fresh and frozen seafood. Right now, we are planning on expanding our menu,
Well,
so watch out for that.
all right. I'm just curious. What are the challenges of putting up a business in the time of pandemic?
Oh, we had a lot of challenges since it's a small business and we really just started it during the pandemic. It was hard with deliveries and with basically where to find the sources for everything. So it was that part was really challenging, especially since the quarantine classifications here in Metro Manila keep changing. So we have to keep watching out for that.
All right. Um, you're a businesswoman too. So, what did you realize about yourself in this business endeavor? Na parang, ay, hindi ko na-realize ganito pala ako because of putting up a business or a small business.
Yeah. Okay. I realized that I am very stingy when it comes to the money that when it comes to the money that I make. I think I realized this way back even before putting up this business because even in Spain I was making my own money. So it's not, something new to me that I am making my own money. And that's when I realized that if it's something that I actually, really worked hard for, I find it hard to just spend it on useless or random stuff.
I am very much happy to hear that from you because we all know, and admittedly, you mentioned that you come from a privileged family. But for you to reinforce the value of saving and being stingy, well, that's a breath of fresh air, and it's a reminder to everyone that you don't have everything, or you don't get everything because you work hard for it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right,
Yeah.
thank you for giving a glimpse of your personal life, Corrine. Now we will move on to more pageantry related questions, and let's start with this. Miss Chris Aquino endorsed you. How do you feel about it?
Okay, I am very flattered because we all know who Miss Chris Aquino is. I mean, she's very big in the showbiz industry. So having someone like her, someone that big, acknowledge me and see something in me, it's very, very flattering.
All right. So, Miss Chris, hello po.
Hi, Miss Chris. I'm still so kilig with your post.
All right. Thank you. Next question is, take us back to the point wherein you mentioned to your dad and to your mom that you are joining, and how did they react to it? How was it? What was your reaction?
Actually, I don't think they were surprised by it because I always wanted to join. It's just that I never had the guts to actually do it. So when I finally told them that I am doing it this year, they were still surprised, but I don't think, it was something very new to them that they were shocked by it. And I actually like how they reacted because they're still very much supportive even though it's my first time.
All right. So, in the process of doing so, I want to ask you this question. Kasado na ba yung look mo, makeup, gown, and national costume for the benefit of the pageant fans? They're asking.
For my national costume, we have an idea na, and they're starting to make it. And then for my long gown, for my long gown, we also have an idea, but we're still fixing some things with it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for, oh, yan na ha. Yun, alam nyo na ha. Nagre-ready na si Corinne. Huwag na kayong makulit.
Na.
All right. I also want to take this opportunity to ask you about your camp. So who are the people behind you rallying to support you in your pageantry journey?
With my camp.
Yes.
Sorry.
Um,
Okay. So
yeah. Who are the people behind your camp?
yeah. In my camp, I am in Aces and Queens for those who don't know, and my handler or my AP is actually also a part of Aces and Queens. She is Mikey Andre, and she
Oh,
has been very supportive from the start because she knows about all my worries and all my insecurities joining into this pageant, and she knows everything. And she has always been there for me. She's always there to reaffirm me of my whenever I have problems, and I'm very thankful for that. And there's also Tito Jerry Diaz, and he's also been very helpful in Tito Jim, and also Mama Ian, our pasarela
for the
trainer,
passerella.
and
All right.
and
Thank you.
Tatay Yo. I saw him. Sorry, I saw him comment a while ago. I just didn't have the chance to say hi. He's also watching right now. Tatay
Hello.
Yo.
Hello. Hello. Hello to everyone who's supporting, who's rallying behind Corinne, and thank you so much for spending some time with us. And I hope you're enjoying this interview so far.
I am. I am.
My question to you is, you mentioned the word earlier, reassuring. So, how is your mental health state right now in the time of the pandemic? And how are you? I mean,
Right, because it's my first time, so I've always had recurring insecurities like, am I actually ready for something this big, or is my pasarela or is my knowledge on my makeup and hair skills, are they all ready for come pageant night? And I always message Mama Mikey and my AP Mama Mikey, and also my mom. I've been very open to her about that. And that's what I like about Mama Mikey and my parents is they never told me it's yes, sorry.
Hello,
Hi,
yeah.
yes. They never told me to stop or to quit because they hi Tita Jerry. Let's see, that's
Hello po.
also part of Aces and Creeds. Okay. Anyway, they never told me to quit. They've been very very supportive of my journey, and I just love how passionate they are of me in this journey.
All right.
They believe in me basically. Yeah.
I'm I'm happy that a lot of people are cheering you on and help fortify your and help strengthen your mental fortitude because that's very important. There are two aspects in this journey: your mental and your physical attitude. So I'm happy that you
Yeah.
are in the right place and your heart is in a good place. Let's move on to my
Thank
favorite
you.
questions because first off is we were able to watch a runway video earlier before we started this interview. So tell us more about the
Yeah.
runway interview. Where was it filmed and the logistics and what were the challenges and what did you like about it?
So my runway challenge, I shot it with some of the Aces and Queens girls as well, and it was taken here in Mandaluyong, just very close to my house. And I guess one of the challenges for me were maybe the lighting because I took it at around I shot my video at around I think 4 or 5 o'clock, so it was getting pretty dark. But then the videographers and the people who were in the team, they were able to do something about it, and they were able to fix the lighting. So I love how my video turned out. I'm very proud of it.
I love it too. And personally, I want to ask you, where did you buy the dress? I love the dress. If I were a girl, I would wear that dress and the shoes.
Thank you. Thank
And the
you.
shoes. I love the shoes as well.
Okay, actually, the two things you pointed out, they're not mine. The dress, I borrowed it from my stylist, Charmaine Palermo. So thank you so much for that, Charms. And the shoes naman, it's Mama Mikey's. I also borrowed it.
Okay. You are being when we saw that video, you were being compared with Maria Isabella Galleria. Have you heard of that comment and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I actually read some comments that were saying that I kind of look like her. And I'm so kilig because I find her so beautiful. One of our stylists in Aces and Queens, si Tata Yo, he used to style, or I think he is still styling Maria Isabella Galleria. And when he told Isabella about me, Tata Yo showed their conversation, and then she followed me on Instagram. So I remember that day I messaged him, Tata Yo, Isabella Gallery is following me. I can't believe it. Because I find her so beautiful.
Well, queens cheering other queens. So I mean, that's the spirit of pageantry, right? And I'm very happy that
Yeah.
she's following you and then she's supporting you as well. Let's move on to your other challenge, which was the swimsuit, which I absolutely loved as well. Tell us more about it.
For the swimsuit photo, we shot that I think maybe last month. And then it was also Charmaine Palermo who styled my swimsuit photo for that day, for that shoot. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but she also put something around
Yeah.
my
So
stomach. So it
yeah.
wasn't just around my waist. Sorry. So it wasn't just a two piece. There was something in between, and I think that was my favorite part of the look because it kind of elevated my look. Instead of just focusing on the swimsuit, there was something in between, sort of, like something cheeky to add to the look.
Tell us more about the
Yeah.
pose because it's a non-conventional pageantry pose. That's something I would see for something that a high fashion shoot, but not necessarily for pageantry. You see, I love the way you positioned your arms and your legs. They look very long. It's like legs for days. So tell us more about the peg.
Thank you. Thank you for that. For that one, I'm very thankful for my photographer, Doc Morlan, because he was the one who helped me with my leg positioning. So he was the one who thought of standing up in that manner. So I'm very thankful for that. And initially I wasn't, I was happy with the photo. I loved the photo, but then I wasn't sure if it was pageant material. And that's what my handler and the photographer was telling me, that it's different from a lot of swimsuit photos that you would get from pageants, which is what made it good because it would stand out. So, I just trusted them and I love how it turned out.
Girl, it's not just good, it's amazing. It's massive. So in
Thank you.
hindsight, do you do you regret doubting yourself about the whole process or about the shoot?
Yes, I regret doubting myself. But then when I saw the photo, I really, really loved it. As in, when I saw it, I said, wow, I love this photo. So I wasn't, super unhappy about it. I just wasn't sure if it was pageant material.
All right. Okay. You know what? You're very beautiful. You're very smart. You're very intelligent. You have it. You have it in you. You just have to trust yourself more and trust in your
Yeah.
training, trust in the process because you got this. Don't
Yes.
worry about it.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I needed to hear that.
All right. And lastly, about your casting video. Tell us more about the casting video and what was your challenge and what did you like about it?
For my casting video, I like how my video turned out because I think that my makeup was very light to fresh, because that was the requirement for the casting video. And my makeup artist Mila Gulfon was able to do that. And I love how my whole look turned out with my makeup and also my sort of soft curl hairstyle. And I'm not sure if you saw my stories, if you've seen my stories, but I actually had a hard time shooting my casting video challenge because I couldn't keep a straight face.
Oh,
I kept messing up. Yeah, I kept messing up, especially for the parts where I had to turn my face sideways because I kept cracking a smile, and I had to keep a straight face so as not to ruin the whole vibe of the video.
all right. What I loved about your video is that they panned into your eyes. Your eyes were very
Mhm.
expressive. So when they focused on your eyes, that one for me was the money shot, and that for me was the highlight of your casting video because they show the window to your soul. Um, if you wouldn't mind, let me trim down the questions, the last three questions. Let me do a combo question. When was the last time you failed? What did you learn from it? And when was the last time? And consequently, when was the last time you succeeded? And what did you learn from it?
So, when was the last time I failed is the first question. And some people might not see this as a failure because it's not a conventional failure. But for me, it is because, what I'm talking about is whenever I wouldn't have time for myself. Because prior to joining this pageant, I was a very private person and I was sort of very homely, homey, that I would really take pride in my skincare and just relaxing and taking care of my whole body. And with the training and just stresses with this whole journey, I think that's sort of what I see as a failure to me, is that I don't have enough time for myself. So if it's not a conventional failure.
All right. And conversely, when was the last time you succeeded, and what was your takeaway from it?
The last time I succeeded, it would have to be when I got in the top 15 challenge for runway, because I always talk about this, but it's always been at the back of my mind. It has always been my insecurity throughout my whole journey, that I'm a pageant newbie and I don't really know how to do all of this stuff prior to joining. So I'm like a blank canvas. I just, absorbed everything that the trainers would tell me. So I wasn't sure about my pasarela and if it looked good, if it's, pageant ready, basically. So I think I see it as a success that I got into the top 15, because as a newbie, you wouldn't expect to reach that level for, especially for pasarela, which is something that takes a long time for someone to know or to be good at.
All right. And my last question before we do our closing credits would be, why should you be? Cliche as it may sound, Why should you be the next Miss Universe Philippines 2021?
I should be the next Miss Universe Philippines because to me, I see myself as someone diverse. You know, I'm not the tallest one out there. I'm not the tallest candidate, and I see myself as someone that brings diversity to the beauty pageant scene. It shows that beauty pageants are evolving and that we are more accepting of shorter women or women that are not conventionally for or a conventional candidate for beauty pageants.
All right, it's like Corrine Abalos, the fresh face of pageantry. Oh,
I
diba?
love that. I'm gonna start using that.
Oh, diba? Bongga. All right. Now, well, some good things never last. As much as we want to stretch this for an hour, we're working on a limited time constraint. And I know you're very busy lady, so we wouldn't want to drag you for too long. But we are enjoying this, and thank you for having the time spending this with us. My question to you is: what is your message to your family and friends?
Family and friends. So my message for my family and friends is I'm just so thankful for all of you guys. You know how I've been feeling and all my I vent to you. I vent to all of you. So I'm just very thankful that you're still there to support me and that you never gave up on helping me achieve my dream.
All right. And what is your message to the people of Mandaluyong?
To the people of Mandaluyong, I am so grateful for all of the support that I've been receiving. Um, I know that I know that it's not easy to vote for me every day, but I'm very grateful for all of you because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have made it to the top 15 to the top 15 of the challenges and I wouldn't even have made it to the top 50. So I'm very grateful for you guys and don't worry, I got this. I got the Miss Universe Philippines for you guys.
That's the spirit. And how about last shout out to your fans, especially to those who don't know you personally, but keep on cheering for you, cheering on.
So I just wanna do a super fast shout out to Corrine Verse. That's the group that we have, and there, Jomar, he's also part of it. So hi, Jomar, and hi everyone who supported me, and thank you so much for all the messages and all the comments that I've been receiving. I'm very appreciative of them, considering that I've been having worries of my own, and they really helped me reassure myself that I am ready and I am enough. I am ready for this.
Yes, you are ready, you are beautiful, you are complete, you are enough. My ultimate question is complete the statement. I am Maria Corazon Corrine Abalos, and I am.
And I am ready and in it for the crown.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, les presente una fuerte candidata, una candidata imponente y impresionante. We just presented to you a very strong candidate, a very intelligent, very beautiful, and very engaging candidate. On behalf of Sash Factor, we would like to thank you for joining our live series, and would like to thank everyone for supporting Corrine. And I would like to wish everyone good night and God bless. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for having me also. And thank you for all the listeners. Thank you for listening to what I have to say.
All right. Thanks, Corrine. Que
Thank
tengas
you.
buena suerte.
Gracias.